It's absolutely terrible. What you see are literally hundreds of children. One of the orphanages we went to had 200 babies and serious problems because they're lacking all the basic supplies, any kind of medical supplies. Sometimes they give the babies formula. When they run out of formula, they give them milk. That causes diarrhea. Diarrhea then means these babies get dehydrated. We saw a little girl, 14 months old, but absolutely tiny, couldn't have weighed 15 pounds. And she was so severely dehydrated that her skin was almost like paper. And they were trying and trying and trying to see if they could get an IV into her because, of course, you couldn't really find her veins, and we were pinning her down, sort of what I've done with my own kids at the doctor's office. But in this case, we were told that there was only a couple of hours before this child would not make it if she didn't get the IV. It was very, very scary. And you see the orphanage there has 200 children. Another one we went to has 133 children. They want two things: supplies, which for the most part are being driven in occasionally by some Catholic groups if they have a chance to find the particular orphanage. They also are trying to get evacuations. Many of these kids have connections or American parents in the process of some kind of adoption process, and they'd like to evacuate the kids, get them out, because many of them they think will not survive this. They'll survive the earthquake, but they will not survive the lack of supplies. Wolf?
What's the problem, the main problem from your vantage point, so that getting these supplies to these orphans?
First of all, there's no real infrastructure to sort of set it up. So what we saw today at one of the orphanages, a woman put out an email request. A friend of a friend said, well, I'm in Haiti doing some other work. He went to the Dominican Republic, filled up his car, brought back some supplies, and has been able to extend the orphanage's ability to stay open basically for 2 more days. So all of that buys 2 more days for 133 children. That's not organized infrastructure. That's a Band-Aid consistently being placed on these children who are very, very vulnerable. Also, some of these orphanages have had robbers. The guy who runs the orphanage we went to today, called Maison des Enfants, he said, people come across our walls with guns and say, give us your supplies. They think we're getting things. And he says, we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. But twice they've been robbed, but no, there was nothing to take. So they're also worried about their security. They're running out of diesel fuel. They can't run the lights. Without the lights, they're more afraid of the robbers. So it's this very vicious cycle. If they can't get formula, then the kids get sicker, and there's really no infrastructure in place yet that's making it an organized fashion that these young children are getting the supplies they need.
And does it look like it's getting it all better? I speak to you not only as a reporter and a journalist, Soledad, but you're a mom. You have 4 kids yourself. Does it look like it's getting better?
It's terrible. There was a little boy at one of the orphanages today, and he was 10 years old, and he spoke English perfectly, and he said to me, will you read my Bible to me? And I opened up the page, and it said, my God, why have you forsaken me? And I just lost it. I mean, it felt just like that. Like, who is helping these children? I don't know that it's getting better. I really don't.